You're listening to another episode of the Just Go Bike podcast powered by RAGBRAI. This is the award-winning podcast where we are all about the culture of cycling just for the fun of it. Your hosts are Murph from the Murphology podcast and AP from Parrot Talk. With tales from all over the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile. And now here is Murph.
Hey, that's me.
And AP.
Hey, that's me. Hi, Murph.
Hello.
Well, how are you this fine day?
I am great. We've got beautiful weather here in Iowa, and I'm in Des Moines right now, but when I go back to Cedar Rapids, I'm going to get on my bicycle.
Well, I think that sounds like the perfect day.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a fun episode today. We're talking about one of the most popular vendors on the RAGBRAI route. But before we get to that, I want you to give the update on the second biggest important entity on RAGBRAI. That's the Just Go Bike podcast.
Oh, sure. Well, so wait, which one? No, I'm kidding. So we are during RAGBRAI. I will have a special vehicle once again this year. Mm-hmm. It is not what we were driving last year, so don't look for that.
Okay.
This year, I'll be driving a Toyota 4Runner on RAGBRAI. RAGBRAI is now sponsored by Toyota. You may have noticed their ads on our podcast.
Yes.
So shout out Toyota.
Yeah.
And I'll be excited to be driving a fully wrapped 4Runner. And this was my choice. I really love the 4Runner.
Okay.
They did not pay me to say that. But I did get to pick out my vehicle because I'm a Toyota gal.
Yeah.
So.
And for those that remember last year, we had a tricked out vehicle, and on the site, I think it said over 1 million listens. We have to update that because we're at almost 1.2 million listens.
Yeah. Going on up.
Holy moly. So
yeah.
We got to give a shout out to all of you who listen to us chit chat and do what we do week after week, sometimes day after day.
I mean, just constantly. they can't really get us to stop talking. That's part of the problem. But so I'll be having my Toyota at the Expo in Ottawa. So come see us on Expo Day. Mm-hmm. And then every night thereafter, I will park at the Expo area, the festival area. Mm-hmm. And just sort of, we'll be there. We'll record some nights we'll just be there to socialize, hand out stickers. We'll have some new stickers this year. But yeah, I've just been planning what our vehicle will look like with our graphic designer, Corey Much.
Sweet.
I know I'll have a flag, and I'm going to try to get some of those little wheel chocks so I can ramp up the Toyota so it looks like I'm going off road.
God. Are you?
Yep. So, but we're still workshopping that. But okay. Yeah. So I'm very excited. I will, like last year, try to park along the route a couple times so that maybe I can see people or just honk at people or hand out candy. I don't know. But yeah.
I think for the most part, we're going to be doing similar to what we've done in years past, where I bike the route and then we try, actually it just kind of happens where we'll end up meeting in the same town at the same time. I don't know if you'll bike in or you'll be on gravel, or that's all to be determined.
Yeah.
And then we re-meet at the end of the day when you're already set up at the expo. And so we'll hang out a little bit there. And then we always have good intentions, like let's go shower, change, and then come back to the band. But we end up chit-chatting with people. Time gets away from us, and we end up at the band.
Well, look, everyone else is sweaty too. So, I don't really feel too out of place.
Yeah.
But, if I have to sleep in the Toyota, I have to sleep in the Toyota. I mean, I'm going to live in that thing. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move on to the number one vendor that everyone talks about on the RAGBRAI route. Go ahead and say it.
Mr. Porkchop. I can't recreate his classic call, but
right.
I am so excited to have Mr. Porkchop the Third on the episode today.
Yeah, so Aaron is on, and he's going to talk to us about, how the whole Mr. Porkchop came to be, what it started as, what it is now, and a little bit about the future, and of course, they're going to be on the RAGBRAI route. So don't you worry. If you want a pork chop, it'll be available.
Yeah. So we're all really happy to have him on the podcast. We had his dad on the podcast a couple times, and it was really special. So it's nice to continue the tradition.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it.
We will be right back.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guy that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, back to the show.
All right, a very warm welcome to Aaron Bernhard. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, Murph. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you on and to talk. This will probably be the third or fourth time that we have had somebody from your family on the podcast to talk about the Mr. Pork Chop stand.
No, it's fantastic. It was really cool. Thank you, by the way. You guys did the tribute show, I think 298 or something like that, to Dad. And
yes.
So it took us a little bit to get to listening to it just because it stings a little, but it was great to, go back on some of those memories and hear his voice too,
Yeah, I know. It is crazy to hear that. And I shouldn't say Mr. Pork Chop stand because you are so much more than a stand. So I want to get into all that. But first, will you start out by telling the listeners where home base is, like where you live, and if you see cyclists out and about, if you are a cyclist, kind of the cycling culture there?
Yeah, so my wife and I are both Iowa born and raised, but we met at Iowa State University. If any Ames people are on here, at a bar called Wallabies. After we both graduated, my wife took a job out here in Olympia, Washington, and we bought a house in 2020 in Tumwater, Washington, which is right next to Olympia, so the state capital of Washington. And we've lived out here ever since winter of 2017. And the cycling culture is incredible, actually. It's impressive. The entire region is very pedestrian and bike friendly. But especially large biking communities like Seattle and Portland. They have the big STP ride every year, Seattle to Portland. And then they have like an extensive rails to trail system where they take old railroad sections and then turn them into trails for public access.
Oh, nice.
It's really cool. And we actually rode that last weekend. We did 33 miles. So my butt wasn't prepared for that, but
it's hard to beat rails to trails. Like it's just such a cool, like the views are amazing. Like every rails to trail is a little bit different, but I absolutely love them. We have one where I live too.
Yeah, no, it's great. I just learned you need to eat in little chunks. We stopped and ate at a Mexican restaurant and then tried to get back on bikes. That ride back was a little more of a struggle than the ride in.
How many margaritas did you have?
Zero margaritas. I behaved.
Okay.
No. But too many chips and salsas and things of that nature. So.
Yeah. Well, you're on because of the pork chop stop specifically, and as long as I can remember, pork chop has always been a vendor. So, tell me about that, like the connection with RAGBRAI, maybe the history.
Yeah, so this will be our 43rd consecutive year, which is actually just crazy to say out loud. Yeah, we have to sometimes sit and do the math on your hands. Right. Yeah, Grandpa started in '83, and he went to 2007, and then Dad was from 2008 to 2003. And then Ava and Amanda and myself took the reins in 2024 to the current day. So that's the span of those. Technically, if you want to get real technical, it's 42nd. I think there was a year in there you guys, COVID shut down the ride.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I always forget about that. But for math's sake, 43. But Grandpa started all. He was president of the Iowa Pork Producers at one time, and so he was always promoting pork. It's actually a funny story. He missed my Uncle Tony's, who helps us birth in 1966, because he was a part of a program teaching German farmers how to do modern hog production practices. And so he was in Germany when my Uncle Tony was born. So
no way.
Yeah, it's a really cool story that I've heard in the last year. So pretty interesting.
So how cool is it that, the whole Mr. Pork Chop is generational. Like it's always been in your family. It's always been part of the Bernhard like tradition.
It's awesome, and the reason why when we lost Dad, we were like, man, the first thing is grieving and everything, but then a couple weeks go by, we can't let this go away, right? Like we can't just let it wither away and fade away. It's such a cool thing that Grandpa created. Dad took the baton, added his, and then now we're getting the opportunity to add our flair to it as well. But
yeah,
it's
So there probably are a few newbies listening to this podcast that maybe have heard about Mr. Porkchop, but they have no idea what it means. So pretend you are pulling up into the the area where Mr. Porkchop is along the route on RAGBRAI. How would you describe it?
There's not anything like it. It's definitely unique into itself for sure. You pull up. Usually we're up. You probably just came up a hill. We usually try to set up at least a really flat area, never a downhill, because riders will
keep
cruise
going.
by you.
Yeah.
You got to keep that momentum going for that next hill. But usually flat, nice big yard. We try to find a host yard that nice mowed, manicured, so they can pull off right into a ditch if you want. You see some crazy ones ride right all the way up to the stand like maniacs. But yeah, you just have this large group of bicyclists congregating in a farmyard in the middle of Iowa in the summer, and you can see it from miles away because the smoke is billowing from our grills, and you can also usually see the Pink Pig bus as you roll up as well. Back in the day, you would hear a couple bellers from my grandpa calling people in with the pork chop call.
Yep.
That is, we've moved that to electronic devices over the years. I think we've steadily got worse as the generation goes on. Dad would lose his voice. I don't even try. Some people make me do it. I get red face while I'm doing it.
Yeah. Is it your aunt, Audrey?
My Aunt Audrey, who runs Sassy Slushes, lemonade slushes. So if you riders have been around, you know her well probably as well. She did her 20th ride last year.
Oh, wow. But she also will yell the pork chop.
Oh, yeah. She's got pipes. Yeah, for sure. It's impressive. She might be the only one.
Yeah. Funny side story. I am on a How to Pack for RAGBRAI video. It's like a 6-minute video of how I pack. And the guy who was producing it, I was talking in the video about, various snacks and to eat during, while you're on RAGBRAI. And somehow he found a snippet of Audrey yelling, pork chop, and put that into the video. And it scared me the first time I heard it, because, you're just like, oh, there's my voice talking about snacks. And all of a sudden you're like, Mr. Pork Chop. And I've seen people message and say that scared the crap out of me when they said that. But anyway, that's just a side note. So Audrey's voice made it into the How to Pack for RAGBRAI video, which is kind of fun.
That's awesome. Was that Brian who produced that?
Yeah, Brian Powers.
Yeah, Powers.
Yep.
He's great. He stops by quite often, and so he's
awesome.
It's cool to re-meet all of those people. I did it for years, and then I went away for a couple, and to re-meet all those people like Brian and yourself and VIP is awesome.
Oh, for sure. And so let's go back to the pink bus, because the cool thing that I don't know if it's been going on for years, but riders can actually sign the bus, right? So your autograph or your signature or whatever can be on the bus. But how did it come to be that you... I know that there's a reason that you bring the bus because of what's inside, but how did it get to be pink with a big pig on it?
Yeah, so it's a great question. In the early years, I believe they're operating on a van, very early they're operating on a van. So to take you back a little bit, it all started because Grandpa's pork producers, he was promoting pork. The bike ride went through Bancroft, his hometown, in 1982. Apparently they must have been successful. Fast forward, 83, he goes, I'm going to follow him along. And so the rest is history, I suppose. But they were operating on a van, and then they bought a big white bus, and it said pork chop special on it with little red pigs. And And that's the reason probably why Grandpa has the hat with the little red pigs on it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That he always wore, because I always thought that was weird. Like, it doesn't match any of the aesthetic, but it makes sense once you saw the original bus. Unfortunately, in July of '98, they rolled that in the middle of the ride.
Oh.
So that bus got retired earlier than it wanted to. And looking back, probably a blessing in disguise, because that gave my mom, Faye, at the time, K-5 art teacher in Adele School District, that gave her a fresh canvas to work with a new bus.
Oh,
so in
nice.
99,
yeah.
She helped transform bus number 2 into a pink pig bus, and we added like oversized ears, a snout, a curly tail on the back, and that became the RAGBRAI icon that you see today. Since then, we've had one more bus, so we're on our 3rd bus, and on that one, Dad just decided to go Mr. Pork Chop, something plain, but a good paint job, professional paint job, and then allow people to sign it to fill in those gaps. So that's kind of how it got to where it's been, the short history of, or the long history, I guess, of the 3 buses and how it got to be what it is today.
And I don't know the answer to this, but do you repaint it every year and everyone signs it again the next year, or does it live on? If I signed it 2 years ago, it may still be there.
Yeah, it definitely has. It lives on right now.
Nice.
I don't know if it'll get to a point where we have to go back over it. The 2nd bus, we didn't get it professionally done, so there was an annual little paint session we would have a couple weeks before. It was always stressful.
Freshen it up.
Yeah, little chip of pig. Literally put lipstick on a pig. But yeah, and then what a lot of people don't know is the bus is split up into 3 sections. So, and Grandpa kind of came up with these ideas. That front section is storage / driving. That the bigger middle section is where we keep all of our corn cobs. Mm-hmm. So we auger them in through the top where your escape would be, let's say, if you're on the bus. And then there's 2 chutes coming out both sides where you can rake those out the sides. And then the far end third of it is the cooler where we keep our chops during the week.
Okay. So now you have to explain, you make these pork chops, you grill them on site, which is so cool in itself, and that's why riders see the smoke. But describe the unique way, because you just kind of mentioned it with the corn cobs.
Yeah, so originally they were doing it, they were flipping all of them by hand, which I'm sure was quite tedious task, and we could never do today since the business has grown so much. But yeah, we started by setting up these metal grills. They're 2 big L shapes that we take 2 metal pins on each corner, opposite corners, and then that holds them up, makes a big rectangle. From there we fill up that area with about 1 large bucket of when I say bucket, I don't even know how big they are. Pretty tall, probably about 3 feet tall. We fill that up with corn cobs out of the bus that we just spoke of, and then we light those. You get that started, and while you do, you take off to the side, we have that bottom piece of the grill, and we load the chops onto that bottom piece of the grill, and then we take the top piece, and that goes on top of it, and then there's a lug nut that screws onto the top, and that pinches everything down, and then that allows us to do the rotisserie style that we do over the top of the cobs.
Nice. And I'm assuming, whoever I want to say cooks the chops, grills the chops, has specifics, like it has to go this many minutes on this side, this many minutes on this side, because every chop has got to be delicious.
Yes, and it's tough too. I mean, you got anywhere from 65 to 85 chops on a grill, and you're working with different heat. Sometimes little air gaps are getting in the side. We usually have to put rocks up against the edges so that it keeps all that heat in, and then you're playing the fire too. You don't want to get too hot, don't want it to be too smoky and dampered, and and then you're also going around and salting and buttering like every other turn or so. But it has turned into an art form over the years, and I'm lucky that I've got some really good skilled labor, so I don't have to watch over it as much some of those days. But it is an art form, and I have a couple guys that have got it down pat.
And I know this because I will stop by the pork chop place almost daily, but you don't serve the pork chops to customers on a plate or on a stick. So will you tell them the unique way that they get their pork chop?
Yeah, so we will unload those into a basically a giant cooler, and then transfer them over to the tent where the gals are handing them out and taking money, and then we just put that bad boy right in a paper towel, and that's all you need. That's it helps for cleanup, for you have a paper towel for afterwards, and then also we're not creating more waste, right? So
Right.
no, it's a common misconception. The stick is a common misconception. I think a lot of people get it mixed up with the state fair. So I get that a lot, and I have to remind them, no, it's not on a stick. You just hold it right there by the bone, very Neanderthal style.
It's pretty cool though when you come up to you've got people waiting in line, but then you have as many people sitting in the grass just gnawing on a pork chop with a paper towel.
Yeah, it's such a cool environment, and the riders are a huge reason for that, right? They're all lax, they're friendly, they take care of each other, we take care of them, they take care of us. So yeah, it's just really cool, and people are patient. Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, sometimes the line is long or whatever it may be, and so yeah, the riders make that all possible.
Do you guys, like, behind the scenes, like, do you notice when people come and get a pork chop every single day? Were you like, oh my God, there's that guy, he's been here every day?
We do, and we do very much so. Return customers, and then they start to become friends.
Yeah.
Friends, people that I see outside, or I talk to outside, especially nowadays with social media, you can really keep track of people. But nope, we have a rider this year named Jay Carlson. We call him Haas, and he is going to have I believe on Monday, we'll have his 100th consecutive pork chop.
Whoa!
And so we'll be celebrating the pork chop enthusiast that is Jay Carlson.
Oh, Jay!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah.
What a feat!
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So yes, we definitely, and then some of them will keep track themselves and let us know.
Yeah.
Like Jay, he likes to come in and give us a hard time and remind us.
That's awesome.
That he's been there a bunch of times. So
I could say this probably close to the same about the sassy slushies, but this podcast is about you and Mr. Pork Chop, so I won't get into that and how many sassies I've had.
I mean, yeah, no, that's great. My Aunt Aude is a very integral part of what's going on. So yeah, we can talk about her a little bit. She is very big in finding the route spots, going out and finding them, her and my Uncle Tony. So I talked to Aude more than probably anyone in the 3 or 4 months leading up to RAGBRAI.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, we're in constant communication. Yep.
Well, I'd love to know a little bit more behind the scenes. Like, how do you guys find your locations? I know you mentioned, you try to get to be at the top of the hill instead of the bottom, but how far in advance, or do you talk to farmers, or how does it work?
Yeah, so a lot of different variables that play into it. Back in the early days, Grandpa would just simply go out and find the day that he was going to stay, pack up after he was done, go find the next spot, which over the years we found out doesn't always work. You get a bad spot, you're on the bottom of a hill, whatever it may be. So Dad was actually the one who kind of innovated the scouting process. So once the full route is released by RAGBRAI, the RAGBRAI team, Dad would go out, and now my aunt and uncle, they go out and just drive the route over a weekend span, basically stay in a hotel and stuff, and they stop and talk to different spots that think would be a good spot for us to stay. They make sure it's in between certain towns, or a certain if it's a long day, you want to be about in the first quarter or first third of it. It's a short day, you want to be about a little bit farther back, so they're hungry when they show up. So that that is the process nowadays. Is we go out, we talk to these people. My dad, I think honestly that was his favorite part of the ride. He loved the process of going out. He'd make like
talking to all the farmers and
God, he ate that up. That was his MO, and he had a gift for connecting with those people. He would call me after like a great visit, or he would call me a handful of times. He called me the next morning, like, I stayed the night there. It was awesome. Can't wait to set up there this summer. I was like, you stayed with them? Okay, all right. Yeah. So, and then some of those people have become good friends too.
Sure,
yeah. Some of those hosts, or we've got to stay with them. Last year, we got to set up with Bernie Poppins. She's 87 years old. I don't know if you know Chelsea Poppins, the basketball player at Iowa State. It's her grandma.
Oh, okay.
And we got to set up with her a second time, and that was awesome. And she's great. So you never know who you're gonna get and what it's gonna develop into even after the ride's over.
And talk about Iowa Nice, because these are people that spend the whole year minding their own business. They have their beautiful farm. Maybe they have visitors occasionally, but now they might have thousands of people sitting on their lawn. They might think that there's going to be trash everywhere and vehicles making ruts in their yard, but yet they still say yes.
They still say yes, and believe me, Murph, we're as shocked as some other people that they say yes.
Right.
Sometimes we're just like, thank God. Oh, phew. But some of them know what it's all about. Some of them have no idea.
Right.
And it's kind of fun to kind of sit back and watch the person that morning come out that has no idea and is like, holy smokes.
Right.
What is going on? The circus is in town, we always joke. But yeah, it's awesome because the bikers come in, but they're gracious. They thank, a lot of them will go up and thank the hosts if they're sitting out on their porch or whatever.
Yeah.
The place, we make sure to leave it cleaner than we found it.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little matted down from all the events, but yeah, the bikers do a great job too, picking up after themselves, and so. But Iowa Nice to a T. You couldn't describe it any other way than that, because these people let us invade their property for 16 hours, because we usually stay the night on that site. So we'll tear down, go to our next site, stay the night there, wake up, early in the morning.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to be on the route when the riders are on the route, like going to drive to your location. So, okay, so let's use Wednesday as an example. So that means Tuesday, when you're done at your spot on Tuesday, then you drive to the Wednesday location at that time, right?
Right. Yeah. So we will drive. I'd say we wake up like 5:30, 6 a.m. It all depends on how every day's a little different, how deep we are in the ride.
Yeah.
If you're a little deeper in a ride, it's always nice. You get to sleep in a little bit. And by sleep in, I mean like 6:30 instead of 5:30. But it's not really sleeping in, but you get an extra hour.
Right.
And send up to tents and grills, and then depending on the route location, like I said, 9 a.m. to 2 is usually the hot spot. Then we shut it down, pack it up, and then we'll go. We kind of divide and conquer sometimes. Sometimes we'll all go to dinner. Grandpa would always go to dinner. Like, he would pack up and be like, "We're going to dinner. We have to do it." Dad, not so much. Dad was kind of just fly by the seat of pants, and so some days you shut it down at 4, some days you shut it down at 2. But yeah. So we pack it up and then we go, to that next site, grab anything we need along the way, but we try to streamline that so we're not stopping that much, and we can all be together and kind of, because we want to enjoy it a little bit too. It is hard work. It's a stressful week. There's a lot of anxiety and stuff that goes into it, but we want to get to know the people. We want to spend time with our family members. If we're all gonna, our saying is, if you can't get out of it, get into it.
Nice. So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all try to take advantage of that mindset and have fun and talk to each other and, spend that time with each other as well.
And in the past, you've always had other vendors on site. Do you plan to do that again this year?
So it'll be my Aunt Audrey, Sassy Slush. Some of the locations, I think Pete's Back Road battery sets up with us, so that people who have need some of those batteries. feel free to stop by. He should be around. Grab a chop while you're waiting. And day 2 will be joined by the bike guy, offering bike repair services for riders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we usually have some sort of folks with us. Last year we had a masseuse. We have in the past. This year I don't think we will have one. What's really fun is when the hosts decide to roll out something like last year. The Adam Coughlin family on day 6, they had a bunch of sweet corn. They picked like 1,000 ears, and they're like, "You think that would be good for tomorrow?"
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, "You better triple it."
Yeah.
And they when we drove away that day, they're like, "Holy crap! I can't believe how many."
Oh, wow!
Yeah. So it's a crapshoot. Dad was really intricate, or in that role of bringing on, not being afraid of introducing more, I don't would say competition, but just different options, right?
Yeah.
One year we did Pastafari. We set up Pastafari, had one of the biggest days ever. Iowa Beer Bus. Man, I'm trying to think who else over the years. We brought on Pie Lady, just numerous people over the years. And it makes it like a one-stop shop, and that's pretty cool for people,
Right. And when you say the sassy, lemonade or sassy slushy lady, tell us, just give us like a real short synopsis of what they offer.
Yeah, so they, so what they do is they make like a ice lemonade slush, all organic, it's the real deal lemonade, and they freeze all that, and then they scrape that out, and then they put it in your drink, and then they add lemonade over the top of it. And
it's so good.
And
it has
they're
little,
awesome.
Little chunks of lemon in it, if I remember right.
Yeah, little chunks of lemon, because they're using those real lemons when they're doing it. And no, it's great. It was a great idea by Aud and her team to put that together. And then as it evolved, we were like, it tastes good in here? Vodka. So imagine that. And then so that evolved, and now they have liquor license, all that. They're legal, don't worry if anybody's listening from Dial. But so now you can have an adult slush if you like as well. But
yeah, and you can do both ways.
They're good NA or not. Yeah, they're good NA as well. Yep.
I always, when I am in line, I will say extra sassy, and then I'm assuming that just means vodka. I hope it doesn't mean extra vodka. I don't know if I really need that, but
that's how you get a double. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want a double.
I'm just kidding. I'm not positive on that. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
If you see Murph driving like a maniac in the middle of the road, she asked for a.
Oh gosh, Sorry, riders around me.
She'll burn it off, don't worry.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so, of course, riders can see Mr. Porkchop at least 6 days of the week on RAGBRAI. Have you actually figured out your locations already?
Yes, so we do have our locations. We haven't posted the site locations on our Instagram, which is at Mr. Porkchop Jr.
Okay.
Or our Mr. Porkchop Facebook page, but they are currently, if you have the Ride with the GPS app that is used for RAGBRAI, they have put those locations on the app this year. Oh,
nice. Okay.
So that'll be very clutch for a lot of people. But we usually release the rest of it about a week before we go out.
Okay.
So keep your eyes peeled on that, and in early to mid-July that will be
and
released. Yep.
At the time of this recording, don't you worry, listeners, you don't have access to that app yet because they're still doing all the fine-tuning. But once, if maybe while you're listening to this, you can check it out online. The RAGBRAI app is extremely robust, and the Ride with GPS maps are amazing. And the fact that Mr. Porkchop is going to be on there as well even makes it more amazing. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to Scott Olson and Matt for getting
Scott
that
Olson,
fired
Matt
up.
Fippen.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow.
That is awesome. When he reached out to me about that, I was like,
heck
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many cases of beer you want?
Yeah. Do you set up anywhere besides RAGBRAI during the year?
So over the years, it's really rare. Nothing to near the extent of RAGBRAI, right? We're pretty wiped out. It's a big build up, and then the come down is large too. Like it's a big sigh of relief when we're all done. But when I was a kid, Steve Bornell would invite Grandpa out to Wadsworth, Illinois, every summer for a party that he coined Wadstock. And there was live band, and it was a blast. And our uncles lived nearby, so we would go out and we would catch a Cubs game first. And then we would the next day head out to Wadsworth, and we would cook chops for this party. And they did that for years. Those are some great memories. But so shout out to Steve. If he's still riding today and stays in touch. So he's great. But Grandpa took the operation to Sturgis one year as well.
Oh my gosh.
And that adventure reportedly ended with a pink tattoo on his butt cheek. So I can let you fill in the gaps on what was actually taking place. I don't know how much cooking was going on that year on the ride, but yeah, it was that was folklore for a while, and no one had actually seen it. We were all just like, "Oh, that's something Grandpa
there's
just
no
tells
way,
us to get a rile out of people," because he would do something like that. But one year, I think it was my second or third year in, I'm still pretty fresh to the whole RAGBRAI thing. And this town was shutting down their old pool. And so it was just free showers, come as you please, whatever. And it was the old chain showers where you'd have to hold the chain.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there were stalls, but there weren't curtains on the stalls because they're shutting down. So why would they? And I just walked in the pool showers after, and Grandpa's standing facing away and showering. And there it is.
The tattoo lives.
The famous tattoo
there?
in all its glory.
Oh, no.
It does exist. It did exist. And so I don't know if Dad's ever told that one or Grandpa ever told it, but
oh my gosh, that is the best story.
I know, it's awesome. Really, it's on par for Grandpa. That's awesome.
That's great. Will you get that tattoo, or do you have one with a pig?
We've talked about it. I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it. Yeah. No.
Okay. Well,
we joke about it probably at least a couple times a year, but just the family. We did with Dad too. We're like, you got to get it. He's like, I'm not.
I will tell you. We just finished the RAGBRAI route inspection, and there was a town that was going to be doing flash tattoos. Where you can get a tattoo, but I know, like, you will be way too busy. I'll be way too busy to actually get that. But I'm like, what a great idea! Like,
bring them on the road.
Yeah,
bring them out on site.
That would be great. Well, before
you can talk me into anything out there.
I'll see what AP and I can work some magic to get the flash tattoo guy.
Oh Lord, deal.
Before we end, will you tell everybody again either your social media sites or where people can go to find out more? Yeah,
so absolutely. The Instagram handle is at Mr. Porkchop Jr. Jr. And then our Facebook is just Mr. Porkchop Facebook page. Both of them, if you're having trouble sifting through, both of them have a picture of our father as the picture. So either holding a pork chop or looking out the bus. So that's a good way to find us.
Sure.
on.
And I think last question for you: Do you eat Mr. Pork chops?
I usually have. It's a long running joke in our family. Just like if we're out to dinner, and they'll be like, "Oh, we have a special tonight. It's pork chop," and everybody laughs. And we're like, I don't want to see a pork chop for another 360 days. I usually start off. Yes, I have like one or two in the beginning of the week. I taper off because I start smelling like one.
Right.
For the rest of the week. So as the week goes on, it gets less and less appealing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep, we definitely pork chop breakfast a couple times. You're in a pinch. We've done a little bit better. We have Uncrustables and stuff nowadays, but back in the day, it was like the only thing you had around. You're just like, I guess I'm having a pork chop.
Well, I'll end with this story. I've told it to your dad many times, and he claims he remembers, but who knows? But it was back when I was with the RAGBRAI team that we were always kind of back of the pack, as in way back of the pack. And we were all, riding. It was getting towards the evening time, and we hear the bus coming. We see the pink bus. We start yelling, "Oh my God, stop, Mr. Porkchop." And it was your dad, and he literally had a cooler full of chops still. And so he pulled over and we all, shared a couple pork chops and told stories. And it was just a really, really fun memory that I am always happy to share, because it was just like, talk about Iowa nice. When a big pink bus pulls over and brings out some chops, we had a great time.
It's funny you say that, because when Dad was doing it, I was helping. Those are some of my favorite memories. I would usually stick around and ride with him.
Yeah.
And riding in the bus, and just people, not only they just see the bus and are like, get a load of that. But then when you would pull off and there were riders on the side of the road you pulled off, they'd lose their minds. They're like, I can't believe this. This is awesome, you know? And what a cool reception to get from people too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Dad loved that too. We called you all the stragglers.
Yes, yeah. And we definitely lost our minds as well. So we were one of those people. But anyway, Aaron, thank you so much for sharing, a little bit of history about Mr. Porkchop and taking the time to tell listeners. And I'm sure everyone, if they haven't had a pork chop yet, this is the year, man. They got to do it.
Come and get it. No, we appreciate it. If I could real quick, I just want to thank Matt, you guys.
Yeah.
All the riders, everyone that's been integral the last couple of years. It's been really cool and important, and that we keep it going. Special shout out to my family, my sisters. They've been fantastic. So thank you guys for everything. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, and we got to take note again that this is a family operation, that you are the third generation. I think your kids are there too, so you've got the workings of the fourth generation of Mr. Porkchop. It's a great addition to RAGBRAI.
Yeah, it'll be someday. We're going to make a list of everyone who's worked it, because it would blow your mind. Everyone, people on like the other side of families, like my mom's side, have worked it, along with cousins, uncles, aunts, second cousins. I have my cousin's kid as one of our grill guys right now. All of our significant others, we've drug into it.
Oh, wow.
So, sorry to those guys, Max, Hunter, and Rachel. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, it is a family affair, and something that, like I said, we couldn't see it go away, because it is something so unique and cool.
Agree, yeah. All right, well, I will sign off, and I will see you at the end of July, Aaron.
Sounds great, Murph. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well, listeners, that is it for today. We want to thank you for tuning in to listen to the Just Go Bike podcast. If you would like to contact Murph and AP with a comment about the podcast, or maybe even you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and watch our intros on YouTube. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. That is going to do it for this week. Until next time,
Just go bike!
Theme song by Ryan Steer, logo by Suzanne Milosevic, produced by Kathy Murphy, social media by Andrea Parrott, intro by Pumpkin. Until next time, just go bike.